So, gonna be consistently uploading a little bit more. I'm gonna go through our recap today. I ended up taking no trades. I also don't know why there's this huge gap here, but gonna be going through my analysis today. I ended up taking absolutely no trades. Pretty lame day in general, but I'm gonna go over everything. So, mostly was looking at ES today. Very interesting price action. So, gonna recap everything I was looking at. So, coming into market open, first thing I had my eyes on the 15 minute was this bearish order block that we had. So we had this move down, we had this move up before the move down. If I'm looking to inverse it, I'm only caring about this top candle. I don't need to mark this whole thing out. So the idea was pretty simple, that I wanted to see us come in here, take out or form this breaker block and continue to rally up, because we had a ton of draws of liquidity to the upside. We had London session highs that hadn't been topped yet. We had this internal high, and then we also had Asia session highs, and then these highs up here. I didn't figure we were going to hit these, but as of right now, it looks like we might. But I wanted to see us inverse it or form this breaker block, and then also once we come up to here, move stops to break even. Obviously, that happened. However, it happened right at 9:30. I don't trade until the macro, so until 9:50. So obviously, with this happening right at 9:30 was very frustrating. But obviously, seeing my idea play out perfectly is cool and all, but I wanted to actually enter and execute a trade that obviously did not happen. So form this breaker block, and we continue to rip up. Now, I wanted to see kind of a reversal, but again, I figured we weren't. I also did not want to enter a long position, because we see on the hourly how utterly overextended we are. It is a little ridiculous, and I did not want to enter anything like up in this area, just because obviously if we throw the fib retracement down, that we are very overextended, and I can't seem to find it here. Wow, I'm a little slow here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so obviously we see coming from swing high to swing low here that we are extremely overextended, and I did not want to try and take a trade to the upside, right, going long when we are well above this 50%. So I knew in my mind I didn't really want to see anything, and we didn't get that many retracements either. On the 15 minute, we had this also really nice bearish order block over here that we had. And I told myself if we get a complete closure above this, that I'm probably going to be done for the day. And lo and behold, we completely rip up and continue to move up after that. So again, I was like, once we formed that, I didn't want to see anything. What I was eyeing though, actually I'll undo that, was this right here. So we had this 1 minute fair value gap that we had here. Within this order block, I wanted to see us inverse it within here and then possibly take a short position. Obviously, that never happened, but I was kind of looking at this reversal, but then all we did was tap into it and continue to rip up, which is, again, I figured was going to happen just with how strong we were. We kind of just had this big manipulation leg before market open. We chopped and then ripped up. So it was really hard to find an entry today. I didn't like the way price was looking. For entries-wise, obviously, being completely bullish isn't a bad thing, but I just was not buying it. For news was interesting. We had no news, but Trump was speaking with Putin today, and probably about tariffs or something. I don't know, but it did make the market rip up. Obviously, with Forex Factory, we had a bunch of no news, so it was already going to come into the market pretty de-risky. But again, with how we just decided to rip up to all hell, was a little aggravating to watch, but I did a good job staying out of it. There really wasn't much entries there that I liked that held a lot of confluence to me. That's what was the big deal. Was obviously we see you could have entered just by entering, but again, like, you look at the 5 minute, we don't have a red candle until 10:10, right? So there's not really any retracements into any fair value gaps either on the 5 minute. So again, it's kind of hard to trade it in my opinion. Obviously, a couple people on my Discord did catch a pretty couple good trades, and it was on that only one I talked about, which is this fair value gap here that we retraced into. So again, a little frustrating. I understand that, but did a good job staying out of it. I was hoping we'd get good price action, but with it being a general no news Monday, I figured price action was not going to be the best.